Here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where did your passion to become a filmmaker kind of come from? A certain role, certain movie, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
Yeah, it's kind of both. I grew up watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, so
Nice.
uh, got into action. He inspired me to want to act and stuff like that. And I was always big into horror movies when I was little. Like my babysitter and my dad always had horror movies on. So
That's awesome. Well, cool, man. Well, I guess like, is this your film? I started as a short, right?
yeah,
Was this done like you have your own haunted house up in New York, and you kind of use the set at the film this? Is that correct, or?
yeah, yep. Yeah, I have a Halloween attraction in Rome, New York now. It's called Cayo Industrial Horror Realm. And I've just been doing that for 18 years. And I've always wanted to do filmmaking, and I could never directly do filmmaking. So I just try to make like little commercials and stuff for it. And then one day, my friend Jeff Orlowski came to KO one day and he's like, "Hey, can I shoot a film at your place?" And I never met him at that time. And I was like, "Sure." And I got watching him do a scene. And I was like, "Hey, maybe this is an opportunity to try to get into bigger filmmaking." He's obviously making an independent movie. Why not see what he's about? And we ended up getting together, and we had a couple meetings, just talking back and forth over. We went to a cafe nearby, and we started talking how we could work together. And he mentioned a film or movie contest called Empire State of the Dead, and we're like, "Hey, this is a perfect opportunity to work together." So we both he helped me with mine and I helped him with his, and that was ironically a contest about zombies. So I got into wanting to make a different kind of zombie film because I don't really, they're all the same for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. And from the trailer, I mean, it looks zombie-esque, but it's definitely not zombies though. So I guess explain the premise of the film.
Yeah, I didn't really explain where like the pandemic happens, and I've seen some comments about like, like, oh, you don't even know what the pandemic is. And I was like thinking, like, do any zombie movie you watch, exactly where the pandemic came from, or the
No, I
virus
feel like
started?
sometimes less is more. You're more just worried
Yeah,
about surviving.
yeah. And so yeah, Necropath. It's obviously the ironic part is we shot it in between 2014 and 2018, and that ironically the pandemic hit in 2020. So yeah, so the film's pretty much based around this character Skag right there. Um,
Yeah.
because a lot of zombie movies too are based around the characters and or the protagonists and, instead of the zombies himself. And I wanted to make like a main character kind of zombie kind of guy. And throughout the movie, you can't tell if he's a zombie, if he's not a zombie, what the hell's going on with him. It's kind of left. I did a lot of things to leave up to interpretation for people watching it.
Gotcha.
So it'll either drive you nuts or it'll make sense and
Well,
intrigue
I
you.
mean, he looks like he's got a range as an actor. I mean, in the trailer. I mean, how did you find him? Did he work in haunted houses before, or something you just did through auditions?
When I was working with Jeff Orlowski on his film for that contest, Mo was came with him, and I guess he helped out with Jeff's films a couple times. And I was like sitting there looking, I was like, oh man, I really want to ask him to be in the films or be the character in my film. And then I was up on a ladder working on a light for, because it was in an old bathroom and dingy bathroom, and I had to make this like fluorescent flickery light thing. And as I was up there working on it, the ladder shakes a little, and Mo, yeah, him, uh, he was holding the ladder, and he's like grabs his mouth, and I was like, what the hell is he doing? And he pops his whole all of his teeth out, like his dentures.
Oh my goodness!
And
What?
I was like, yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, what? And then I asked him right on the spot to be in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and,
That was.
and he's never acted in a role like that. He's never did like any starring. He just did like little snippets here and there. Extras and certain parts, and he crushed it in Necropath. Like people ask, they're like, did you really get like a heroin addict or crackhead to be in that role? Yeah, he crushed it. I tell him that every time I talk to him.
That's
So
cool. So I walk me through the journey of this, because you said it was a short. I guess you started in 2018 and then eventually became a feature film, and now it's going to be out now, right?
yeah, so I finished it in 2018. I finished Necropath 2018, and then 2019 I went through like a crisis and for my Halloween attraction, so I had to put the film on hold.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
then 2020, we submitted to a bunch of film festivals, and in the process of the festivals, I get a call from a distribution company, and they say, "Hey, we want to pick up your film." It's like, okay.
Yeah,
So
and it's Kamikaze Dogfight, right? They
right, yep,
It's funny
in
because I just
Gravitas.
interviewed the actor who runs that. I'm blanking on his name, but he was just in Cobra Kai 3. So
Han Soto.
yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an amazing guy.
Really cool. Well, I'm curious because I love haunted houses. Like, how big is yours? I mean, do you do stuff besides just Halloween? Because now some of them are due like Christmas, and I've even seen some popping up for Valentine's weekend now.
Yeah, I actually did this. I'm really proud of it too. It's called Atrophy Escape Ward, and that's also in Rome, New York.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like an escape room, but it's more elaborate than a regular escape room. You don't just get put in a room. You got to figure out how to get out for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You actually go through this whole labyrinth of rooms, and there's actors in it, and it's pretty wild. Like the music, it's yeah.
Yeah, I love those because to me it's kind of boring if it's just one room you need to escape. You
Yeah,
know, I don't
it's
like
based in oldest 1920s asylum too. The
Oh,
look
that's
and everything.
awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty sick.
Well, very cool. Before I let you go, is there anything in the works that you're allowed to talk about or anything? I know some things are kind of up in the air because of the
Yeah.
pandemic, you know.
I have ideas for another Necropath.
Oh, cool.
I want to make. I was thinking about making these films as like because obviously he dies in it like every horror icon character in every movie. They always die at the end. But so that's not a spoiler. uh,
Yeah, exactly.
so I was gonna make another necropath and kind of like a who killed Kenny kind of thing. Like he's just back again in another episode or another film.
I
And
dig
then
it.
there's a horror psychological series that I'm working on. That's what I've always been wanting to work on since before I made my Halloween attraction. So
Mhm. Cool.
that's one
Well,
thing.
hopefully one day I'll make it up to Rome, New York, and I can
Where
experience it firsthand. Yeah, I'm in
where were
Florida,
you?
so
Florida?
yeah,
No
Orlando.
kidding.
So yeah.
Nice.
Well, cool. All right. So the movie's out now on video on demand, wherever people can find that. Is there a website, social media ways we can stay up to date with your ventures going forward?
Yeah, you can either CAYO industrial.com has pretty much the hub where I put all the projects I do, my escape room, my film, my Halloween attraction. And I actually just updated the website. So like as soon as you log on to koindustrial.com, it's gives you an option to pick one of the three.
Well, keep up the amazing work, man. I love that you combined all these things together, you know, haunted
Cool.
attractions, escape rooms, and doing movies on these sets, you know.
Nice.
Cool, man. Well, we'll talk down the road for future projects. All right.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Take care.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I had to put it on for this.
It's perfect. Thanks a lot.